traumatized residents of wealthy San Francisco neighborhood resort to using chicken wire to protect their homes against intruders as crime spirals. Yeah, even hardcore natives feeling so unsafe they want to move. So I remember a few years ago when it was big news that some dude took a crap in Nancy Pelosi's driveway because just to drive the point home that she didn't care about what was happening with the rest of the city while she lived in the rich gated community areas. People should have listened back then, because now no, crime is apparently so out of control in San Francisco, it has spilled into the rich gated communities. They can no longer be spared. Now they are facing, face first, what they voted for. And a lot of them aren't happy about it. So citizens in the residential area of San Francisco are bolstering their homes with chicken wire in a bid to keep out intruders. Happening in the shitty's Richmond district. Now, man, even got rich in the name. Safety measures come amid a recent jump in burglaries, robberies, and homicides in the affluent neighborhood. God, if only you guys had listened to our warnings and voted correctly when you had the chance. It wouldn't have gotten this bad. That's one of the sad tragedies of humanity, by the way. Most people refuse to make the necessary changes to prevent things like this from happening. That they only act when it's too late. Like after it's already happening and there's not really anything they can do about it anymore, that's when suddenly they act. Headline grabbing incidents like thieves making off with Bank of America ATM earlier this year have given even longtime residents on edge, with some installing cameras and safety locks along with unconventional farm equipment. Oh, really? That should be interesting. Several have attended community meetings and made posts on social media as the rampant crime wave persists. Yeah, this is called getting what you voted for. They continued voting for this while they thought they were safe in their gated communities. And then the what they voted for came to their gated communities, and now they're freaking out. Now they're considering moving. Pathetic, man. They deserve it. In interviews with the San Francisco Chronicle, residents spoke about the current state of the neighborhood, offering insight as to why these precautions are becoming commonplace. Yeah, well, we got what we voted for, and we don't like it. Well, my wife doesn't feel safe going out without me these days, said 66-year-old Sam Hama, captain with Richmond's Neighborhood Watch program, who recently caught someone trying to pick the lock of his family's home. A few months before, a 37-year-old man was shot and Minecrafted by cops down the street after he allegedly Minecrafted his 76-year-old mother and her dog in their home. Damn, so that was a local crime. It's not like it was some outsider that came in and Minecrafted random people. David Heller, president of a local merchants a local merchant associating. Okay, good job there. Apparently, we not only have merchant associations, but we have merchant associatings as well. Added that businesses are also bearing the brunt of a spate of crime, which also appears to be spilling over from the shitty's long embattled downtown. Yeah, you should have cared about the problem before it came to your town. This is why it's important to defend the hill next to yours. Because if it falls, you become the new front line, as you're seeing now. He brought up how business owners are frustrated not only by the constant stream of incidents, but lack of policing. Did you guys support defund the police? If so, I don't want to hear any bitching. He went on to share how when his own business, Beauty Network Salon on Aguirre Boulevard, was burglarized last year, the police response was slow enough to give the thief ample time to steal bags full of products before returning for a second run. Yeah, the cops were probably responding to a homicide at the same time. They had to prioritize. Like, yeah, you know what? Your fucking cosmetics are far from the top of our priority list when lives are on the line. Hey, maybe if we weren't defunded, we could spare more officers to take care of both of them, though. We wouldn't have to triage. So who would want to stay here under these conditions? Heller asked the paper, citing how several other small businesses have since closed due to similar break-ins. And what's even worse is that if the citizens try to defend themselves, then the cops show up and treat them like the criminals. The Richmond District Police Captain Chris Canning responded by conceding to the Chronicle that his station has not been immune from the staffing crisis that has affected SFPD and law enforcement agencies across the country. He claimed his department is short 522 officers from our recommended staffing levels, something that is sure to be to be a talking point in the district's upcoming supervisor race come November. Hey, you guys paying attention? Now that this is your problem? Though Canning went on about how, with fewer officers than previous years, the station has used a data-driven approach when deploying resources. An approach, he said, is already showing promise. We will not tolerate criminals vandalizing our residents, visitors, and businesses, Canning said, with the San Francisco Police Department data supporting residents' assertions. The number of robberies in the district rose 52% last year from 232 from 87, the most seen in the last 6 years. So it used to be even higher? Dang, guys. How did you fuck it up? Because it looks like it was doing well for a bit and then not so much anymore. So the area also saw 4 Minecraftings in current year -1, including the August slaying of 60-year-old store clerk beaten to death by a 21-year-old man with a baseball bat after he allegedly attempted to steal 2 cans of beer. Oh, man, imagine being Minecrafted over 2 cans of beer. Suspect Santos de Rosa was arrested 3 months later as citizens were left reeling by the sudden death of John Tiwoldi. That same month, more than 200 dirt bikers swarmed the neighborhood, usually one of the city's safest, popping wheelies and speeding down sidewalks indiscriminately. Yeah, that's them showing you, like, hey guys, maybe you wouldn't be dealing with this if you voted correctly. 2 months before, police shot and Minecrafted a man down Hom Street as police response times continue to languish. Back in October, convicted sex offender who camped out near a neighborhood elementary school was arrested after bombarding residents with signs advertising free fentanyl for months before eventually leading to his arrest. Imagine being able to get away with it for months. At that point, I'm quite sure he probably thought, hey, you know what? The cops are letting me do it. Like, they know I'm doing it and they're not stopping me. Why should I be scared? So the pervert sign advertised the deadly drug from his homeless encampment, which is located across the street from a Catholic grade school. I wonder what the quality of these San Francisco schools are. Should I even ask? Do I even have to ask? Towards the end of the year, a man hallucinating on shrooms fired gunshots at his neighbor's home while threatening to Minecraft his landlord, contributing to the noticeable spike in a district that has been no more than 1 killing annually since current year -7. Well, that's been quadrupled now, huh? So that said, the neighborhood remains one of the city's safest. Yeah, that just shows you how bad San Francisco is. Despite the degradation, it's still safe, relatively speaking. Damn. Though that may be generous given the state of the rest of the Democrat stronghold. Resident Irene Hirota told the Chronicle how she was jarred by a break-in through her home's garage on 36th Avenue, but still considers herself lucky. Others, she added, have been much more traumatized by the burglaries, with many growing fed up. Are you going to vote the same way in the new city you moved to? Probably. It's disheartening because I feel it was a safer place, Hirota told the paper as she picked up her 11-year-old daughter from school. Aham, meanwhile, touted himself as a hardcore native, but said the recent violence and thievery is making him rethink the benefits of living in Richmond. Where are you going to go instead? It makes me wonder, at what point do you move out of the city? I think that point was like 3 or 4 years ago. Should have already been on the way out, man. Good luck finding a U-Haul now, though. As crime in Richmond persists, current supervisor Connie Chan has faced criticism. A regressive in her first term, she has argued that Mayor London Breed's administration is shortchanging the district in favor of more stricken downtown areas, where the mayor is at least attempting to address open-air drug markets. Wait your turn. So last month, the supervisor wrote a public letter to Breed and Police Chief Bill Scott asking for additional staff and resources, stating they were desperately needed, given Richmond Police Department's current state. Meanwhile, Breed's old advisor, moderate Margin Fleur, is seeking to unseat Chan and becoming in the looming race later this year. How about instead of far leftists and moderate leftists, why don't you move away from the left? It's clearly not been working out for you. So, following the shopkeeper's beating, Chan confirmed Richmond cops had finally gotten 2 additional retired officers to join its patrol of commercial corridors, but added the neighborhood deserves more. Why don't you defund them harder? I'm sure that'll work out fine. She claimed at the time, I've been calling on the mayor to provide Richmond with equal public safety resources because it's not enough for our mayor to just focus on downtown. Yeah, you guys need to find a way to get your own resources because I don't think you're a priority, to be honest. Not to these guys. You're not a priority in the slightest. They're just you voted for it though. You did. Yeah, C for centrists. Oh man. Probably one of those militant fence-sitting centrists, am I right? All right, Breed spokesperson Jeff Criton shot back. The mayor is focusing on solutions, not on sending letters. Okay, that's a good response, though. I doubt it's true, but that's a good response. I'll give him credit for that. As of the writing, the two have yet to meet. Fleur, meanwhile, has vowed to address the neighborhood's total leadership void, as both Chan and Breed face scrutiny. Yeah, it's just it looks like a circle jerk of all incompetent politicians doing nothing and pointing the finger at somebody else. That's all.